My name's Dave DeBow, founder of MoneyPartnerFormula.com, and this show is built for everyday real estate investors who are actively doing deals and looking to scale using other people's money. So if you're an active real estate investor and you want to get featured on this show to talk about your own real estate and capital raising experiences, then just go to daveinterviewsyou.com. Now let's get rolling with this episode, and remember to subscribe for daily interview content. Hey gang, we got a special treat in store for you today. Well, we always do, but today our guest is kind of different. Kevin Greer is not only a multifamily real estate investor, but he's also a full-time banker. He works with folks like you and I who are looking to get financing for properties. So he knows the business inside and out, backwards and forwards from both angles, as a lender and as an investor. So zooming in from the Chicagoland area, Mr. Kevin Greer, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
All right. Thank you, Dave. I look forward to our conversation. Thank you for the invitation.
My pleasure. So give us a quick little snapshot on the investing side. What does your portfolio currently consist of? What do you like to buy? Where do you like to buy? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in Chicago. So, Chicago is really kind of broken up into like four quadrants. I would say you got your north side, south side, west side, and east side. So currently I own 25 units on the south side of Chicago. And one is a 12 unit, one's a 13 unit. And so, I like that size because it's still manageable. I manage one and I have a guy that manages the other, and I just kind of manage him. I like the low value add in terms of upside on the rents. I don't get into heavy construction because I don't have time. I work a full-time job, so I don't have time to manage construction.
Right. So value add, what are you typically doing? Buying properties that are just kind of under rented and bringing them up to speed, or what?
Yeah, the ones that are, under rented, the units might need some upgrades, but, not a major gut. And then just look for good pricing in terms of price per unit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I kind of like that size that you're going after, because it's a little bit too big for the small guy and it's way too small for the big guys. So you don't have quite as much competition in that. Is that fair to say?
Oh yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are trying to scale to that. Mm-hmm. And then in Chicago, it's a lot of fix and flip people and single family home, one through 4 unit type investors. I kind of like that space. And I've done all the other things. I've done the single families, I've done the fix and flip, the small multi, and to me, it's just more efficient to buy the larger ones.
Well, it kind of lets you focus on your job and let things be a little bit more passive on the investing side. Well, you're self-managing, so there's no such thing as passive, that's for sure. But
right.
Yeah, less hectic. I can see that. So I guess how do you typically find your deals, Kevin? I mean, you must be very well connected. Are these through brokers? Are these off-market deals? How are you drumming up the opportunities?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dave. My first, my 12 unit, ironically, a good friend of mine who's an attorney, we just happened to be talking one day, and he owned a lot of property, and he's like, yeah, I want to get rid of my 12 unit. Anybody want to buy? I was like, yeah, me.
I got to talk to this guy more often, I think. Yeah.
So we just kind of, we kind of worked something out in terms of doing some creative financing, and, we made it happen. So, and then my second deal, my 13 unit, actually found a client of mine had a little money. They had just sold one of their properties and wanted to invest passively. So, she came on board with me, and, she's a passive investor. She just collects a check every month, and I manage.
Nice. So how long have you owned these two properties for at this point, Kevin?
Let's see. I've had the 13 unit for 3 years now, and then the 12 unit I've had for like 7 years now.
Okay, quite a while.
Yeah, yeah,
That's good. Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Yeah. So these have kind of, well, the second one, I guess you had to go out and find that one. Is that correct?
Yeah, through a commercial real estate broker.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And where do you kind of see your portfolio going over the next 5-6 years?
Dave, I'd like to scale larger. That's my thought process. Maybe go to like 18 and then maybe a 24 or something like that. So the trick with that is one, raising enough capital to manage that size of a property, and then at that point, I probably will have to hire a property manager. So it's just a lot of moving parts with that. You really got to be careful because of the market, and you got to have your ducks in a row. You got to have lots of cash reserves.
Yeah. I can imagine. So, Kevin, how long have you been in the banking side of things, and how long have you been analyzing deals and saying yay or nay to financing real estate?
Yeah. I've been in commercial. I've been in real estate finance for 25 years. I started out, like I said, single family, small multifamily. I've done, I worked on the residential side. And then the last 15 years or so, I've been on the commercial side. So work for, several banks, with Bank Financial right now. So yeah, it's been interesting because, just the whole underwriting process is different from the average person would look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Which also means that when you're looking at your own deals, you're coming at it from a very analytical perspective. I would imagine you're trying not to get too emotionally attached to anything, right?
That's very true. I mean, you can get very excited about some of these properties. It looks sexy, but you got to dive into those numbers. And I actually run it through my model at the bank, and I have a couple of different models I run it through, but that's one of them.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So, as a banker, what are some of the biggest challenges you see people facing when they're trying to get financing for their deals?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dave. I think the biggest challenges most people face is they don't underwrite it properly, right? They just get all excited. They, see it's a 6 unit and like, oh, I really want it. And, but they don't run the numbers properly. And so they don't understand that when we run the numbers, we stress test it. We look for your, cash reserves. It's just a lot of moving parts. And so my job is to educate people coming in the door. Hey, look, this is what we're going to be looking for, and this is what you need to do to prepare. So I think that's the biggest challenge is people just not analyzing the deals properly. A lot of people look at it, especially newbies. They might have a 2, 3, or 4 unit, and so they look at that like on the commercial side, on multifamily, and I'm like, no, those two different ball games.
Yeah. So when you're talking about cash reserves, I'm sure most people radically underestimate how much they should have. What's your rule of thumb when you're looking at a property?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So yours, like if you're going to buy a property and you're going to have to go to a bank to get financing, what do you got to have?
Yeah. So basically, they like to see I like to see 3 to 6 months in reserves. Okay, cash reserves.
So 3 to 6 months.
I'm sorry, mortgage payments, right? Mortgage, PITI, property, taxes, insurance, and escrow. So I like to see that, and that's not even including repair reserve, right?
Okay. How much do they have for repair reserves?
Right. So we look at, okay, well, when we throw in the underwriting, we throw in that repair reserve, right? So that's part of it. So we make sure the deal pencils out with the repair reserves. And then another thing people underestimate is they underestimate the cost, right? So they say we're gonna do 3% reserves, but no, we want to see our minimum is 6%, right? So it's a lot of different.
So 6% repair reserves.
Right.
6% of the value of the property.
Right. Well, yeah, we want to see that if you have that type of money to the side, right? So,
just for repairs. So that's not counting the other reserve, which is for mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, right?
Right. But we add that in the underwriting. So it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah. So when people are raising capital to do deals or bringing on joint venture partners with the money and all that kind of stuff,
right,
in addition to the down payment, in addition to the closing costs, in addition to the environmental studies, in addition to, property transfer taxes, all that kind of stuff,
right,
you really should have 6% put aside for repairs and 3 to 6 months of put aside for payments.
Right. And the thing about it is it does boil down also to if you have experience in that, right? So if you're an experienced investor, there's some wiggle room.
Okay.
But if you're brand new to the game, then we kind of, scrutinize it a little bit more.
Banks are conservative by nature. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very cool. Okay, so stock up on the cash for sure. Excellent. So, Kevin, you're looking to scale things a little bit more over the next few years, get into bigger properties. That's probably going to involve raising some private capital yourself, unless you want some pretty good bonuses at the bank.
No, I don't think so.
So what does that side of things look like for you? More into finding joint venture partners, or are you going to syndicate things? What are you looking at?
Yeah, like I said, my current partnership is working out great. They totally rely on me and to entrust me to handle things. I give out a monthly report. So ideally, I'd like to do some more joint ventures. I know syndication. A lot of people do syndications, and it's a lot. It's a lot involved with syndication, and I'm just not sure that I have enough time to do all that. Doing podcasts and always networking on LinkedIn and all that. So ideally, joint venture. I'm not opposed to syndication, but ideally, joint ventures.
So you found your other partner as a client. It was already a client, so you had that pre-existing relationship. That's very, very good. That's cool. So I guess your employer at the bank doesn't mind that you're doing this on the side. Is that correct?
Yeah. I mean, it's I can't do my own loans, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I have another banking relationship that I go to, local bank. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as like connecting to additional joint venture partners, it seems like you're well positioned. You know, a lot of people that are in the business that are probably getting to retirement age that already drank the real estate Kool-Aid, but don't want to be in the trenches anymore. Is that a good source, you think, for potential JVs?
Yeah, I think so. And just in working professionals, like you said, that they have some money set aside, whether it's their retirement, IRA, 401k, et cetera, and they're looking for some additional cash flow. And they, like I said, they know a little bit about real estate, and they trust real estate. That's the key, because a lot of people, real estate can have a bad rap, right? Yeah. And so, it has to be someone that likes real estate. You know, if you're a stock market person and you hate real estate, that's
you're not gonna change your mind, right? You're not gonna twist their arm into doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Kevin, well, that's very, very interesting. Thanks for your insights on how much we really should have stacked up when we're going to the bank looking for financing. If people want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, I mean, they can find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active. I respond quickly. And that's probably the best way. All my contact information is on LinkedIn.
Right. So you look for the Kevin Greer that's in Chicago and works at a bank. That's probably the right gentleman.
Exactly.
All right, Kevin. Well, hey, thanks very much for being on the show.
No, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
My pleasure. All right, everybody. See you on the next one. Hey there. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And as always, if you want to listen to more daily interview content, make sure you subscribe. And if you're an active real estate investor and you're doing deals and you'd like to get featured on this show, then just head over to daveinterviewsyou.com.